From the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Well, welcome back. Well, after 101 degrees yesterday, today was a tad bit higher, 103, the hottest day so far for the year. And today's temperature tying a record set back in 1899, 124 years ago. Yes, it got hot 100, 200 years ago, but the heat we've been seeing now has been amplified by a number of things, but I don't have time to talk about that right now. Just see some of my posts on Facebook. Check out the month, though. Here we go. Only 4 days were we below 95 degrees, and boy, did we finish off with a flurry. Of course, anything in blue is below normal. The normal high in July is 91 to 92, so there we were right below normal on that 90-degree day, and then there were a few days below 95, but 95 or better was the rule for the entire month, and finishing off the month on a high note at 103. Rainfall's been scant. It didn't add the rainfall we had tonight, but we had about 0.6 of an inch of rain out at the airport today, and that was good news for many of us. I got some rain, and there was some wind with those storms as well. More on that in just a bit. So July, hottest July in Lafayette, goes in the record books. This is after the hottest June on record, and notice the hottest months on record, most of them have occurred in the last 20 to 30 years. This is the trend we've been observing, not caused by climate change, but enhanced by climate change and the data that we see, and it's unassailable mathematics and statistics. So since June 7th, we've been at 54 days above 90, 41 of those, nearly 80% of them have been 95 or better. We added a couple more to the 98 plus, and a number of record lows of 80 degrees or hotter, and overall one of the hottest periods. It is the hottest period ever that we have seen since 1893. It may have been hotter at other points, but this is what we have on the record book. So here's high pressure right now. It's dominating our forecast, but notice we've had some moisture rolling around the area, and when we get a little bit of a northeast flow at 18,000 feet, at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars, that's sometimes when we see those storms come in, and sometimes they come in and they do mean business. Now, we had small storms moving through the area, but they were quite intense. Still some activity southeast Texas, off the coast down south of Grand Isle. It's popping down there, and we'll back it up and go through 8 hours here of radar data. We saw the storms off to the north. We didn't think they were going to form up, and then they met up with that 100-plus degree heat and the higher humidity from the Atchafalaya Basin, and then the storms get enhanced and they drop to the south, and they were producing strong and gusty winds. A lot of tree limbs down across the area. Now, tomorrow might see the same, but we have that excessive heat warning again for tomorrow. That's an upgrade from the heat advisory we've seen over the last couple of days. So here are the storms developing during the course of the late afternoon, early evening hours. Now, these clouds will eventually dissipate, and we have a full supermoon out there tonight, so look forward to that. One of two moons that we're going to see this going into the month of August. It's officially full at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, around 1:30, and then we'll have another full moon later in August, so that'll be the blue moon. As for the tropics, all is quiet out here. We're watching a weather system. It's gotten downgraded a little bit by the National Hurricane Center, a 50-50 chance of development, but this is going to stay out in the open Atlantic. No threat to us. So as we look at the weather map, quiet overnight tonight. Tomorrow might see 1 or 2 pop-up showers or thunder showers, and they will have gusty winds, but rain chance no higher than 10 to 20%, and it's pretty much the same going into Wednesday. Maybe a few more clouds. The model thinks it might be a little bit cooler, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. But we're going 100 to 102 just about for all of the Acadiana tomorrow. And if we hit 102 in Lafayette, that will tie a record that was set back in 1986. So another record potential day, and we'll see that heat index, dangerous levels up there from late morning through the late afternoon, early evening hours. So 79 the low. It's going to be nice and quiet for the rest of the night. And then for tomorrow, we're going to see temperatures topping out at about 102. So it's going to be a rough one once again, and that record set back in 1986. And we got more records on the way as we matriculate through the rest of the week. We're going to see daytime highs getting up into the 100-degree range or better, and that will continue as we head into the latter part of the week, the weekend, and maybe even a chunk of next week. Hopefully there's a change in the pattern that allows us to ease some of those temperatures, and if you get a shower or thunderstorm earlier in the day, you're not going to see 100 degrees, but right now now hundreds on the forecast. That's the rule right now.
And that heat index at the airport?
120 just for 5 minutes. But, that's, you don't want to be outside for that 5 minutes, I'll tell you that.
No, thank you.
Right.
All right. Thanks, Rob.